Hey guys, it's Maria unaBRIDGEd here, and today we're doing Am I the A-hole posts. Alright guys, so I wanted to start out and do something fun. I guess that's dependent on your definition of fun, but I am always interested to see why people think that they're sometimes. Oh, you're not supposed to say that. Why they're the a-hole. Shh, bleep. I'm gonna bleep myself out. Oftentimes I find people post in there full well knowing that they are the a-hole. However, there are some people in there that post thinking that maybe they've overreacted to something, or they've said something too far, or whatever the case is, and I often don't think that they are. I think that sometimes the person that they're talking to is putting a narrative in their head, gaslighting them, whatever the case is, into thinking that they're wrong, and I don't think that they are a lot of the time. So we're gonna do a few of these, not too many. A lot of these are pretty long, so we'll start with this first one. All right. Am I the a-hole for asking my boyfriend to edit the caption on his Instagram post? Last week we were at his niece's birthday party. A few days later he posted a picture of them with the caption, "My most precious princess." For info, when we got together I asked my boyfriend if he could call me princess, and for 3 years he always exclusively did that. I told him that I had no problem with the superlative because his niece's is literally the most cutest and precious. But I asked him if he could change the word princess to girl or any other word he wanted. He said in case I forgot, his niece was literally wearing a princess costume, and that's why he chose that word. I don't think that my request is too much because it's not like I asked him to delete the post or anything, but his reaction made me feel like I am an a-hole. Okay, I'm very torn on this because I understand her perspective of seeing that and, you know, people being like, well, isn't that what he calls you? Isn't that kind of weird? However, she was literally in a princess costume. I don't think it's as big of a deal. And I think that we focus so much on what everybody else thinks of us. And I think that that's very silly of this person. But that's coming from the perspective of somebody that doesn't know this person. I don't know their feelings. I don't know what the conversations they've had. I have no idea. With that being said, from the outside, with the context that I do have, I think you're kind of a little bit of an a-hole. And it's nothing against you. It's just what it is. She's wearing a princess costume. I don't see anything wrong with calling her a princess. But, to each their own. This one is, am I the a-hole for telling my husband's ex-wife that I can't pay his child support for my stepdaughter? Ooh, I think this is gonna be spicy. To make a long story short, my female 25 husband, male 33, just walked out on us a little over a month ago. He completely just up and abandoned me, our 5-year-old and 18-month-old children. He has an ex-wife in her 30s, and they have a 12-year-old daughter from their marriage. No formal custody involved, but we would usually get my stepdaughter every other weekend, and my husband would pay his ex the child support every month on the 1st when he got paid. My husband's excuse for just leaving us in the dust was that I am damaged goods, and he couldn't hack it being a father anymore. Oh. He didn't, quote-unquote, feel any joy in parenting and wanted to live a free life. So he changed his number, blocked me on all social media, changed all of his passwords, and told his friends and family not to speak to me. Oh, this is, wow. Okay. It turned my entire life upside down. I've been a stay-at-home mom since our eldest was born, got my degree, and we talked about me going back to the workforce once she entered kindergarten this year in the fall. But it was nothing set in stone. My husband literally gave me an allowance every week to buy groceries, pay bills, diapers, anything the kids needed, etc. I would always stash a little bit away, but he definitely was a breadwinner in our relationship. My husband's ex-wife messaged me earlier today asking if we could talk about something serious. I asked her what was up. She asked if I could pay her the amount of child support my husband usually gives her every month on the 1st. I curiously asked how much because my husband never told me exactly what the amount he gave her. I never really thought it was any of my business. She told me she needed the $900 he usually gives her because both she and her new husband are struggling to pay their bills, and they rely on the child support to make their rent payment, and they were behind. I told her I couldn't do it because truthfully I can't. I'm still waiting to get an appointment so I can receive government benefits, because with what little money I did have saved up, it's gone now after paying every single bill by myself. To keep a roof over mine and my kids' heads, make sure they're fed, etc. There is and will be no way I can spare almost $1,000 to my husband's ex-wife. She blew up my phone, calling me a stupid saying she can understand why he left me, etc. Threatening to keep my stepdaughter away from me and my kids because we are quote-unquote bad influences, and that my stepdaughter is going to struggle because I can't fork over money I literally do not have. I tried apologizing, but it was no use. It just ended in her calling me more names. Am I the a-hole here? I feel horrible that my husband has left us both high and dry, but I also have to look out for my own 2 kids. I'm literally skipping meals to make sure they have enough to eat, and I'm scrambling to figure out how I'm going to survive without my husband's help now. Part of me is really conflicted, but I can't give his ex-wife what I don't have. No. There is in no which way or context that you are the a-hole here. Your husband is responsible for this. Ex-husband, whatever it is at this point. Completely unfair of him to blindside you and leave you be, but very, very unfair of her to be calling you names. It's ludicrous. It's not fair. It's unreasonable. And quite frankly, that's not behavior that should be tolerated. That's not okay. You are not the one that left the stepdaughter high and dry. You are doing what you need to do for your kids, and that's all you can do, especially being a stay-at-home mom. It is so hard as it is when you do have a breadwinner, when you do have somebody that is bringing in the money, let alone when you're left high and dry in a situation like this. And I really hope for your sake, A, that you're able to get the government benefits that you need, but that B, you're able to pursue this and get the money from him in support of your kids, and that his ex-wife for your stepdaughter can do the same, because you are not the person that is causing this pain and discomfort and all of these issues. And it is very unfair for his ex-wife to pin that on you. And here's the thing, playing devil's advocate here, right? Chances are she's hurting, she's scared, and has no idea what she's gonna do, but that does not excuse her putting the blame and fault on you. And if you're already skipping meals, no, absolutely not. You're not responsible to begin with, but that alone tells me that you're willing to do whatever it takes for your own kids. I'm pretty sure you would do the same for her if you did have anything that you could spare. With that being said, they are adults. They need to take care of their own business, and that is not a you problem. This one is, am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law she reaped what she sowed? Ooh, buddy. I married my husband 7 years ago. At the time, his sister was the only one with kids, and it was made clear to me that I was not aunt, and I have been essentially made to be a stranger to sister-in-law's children by her own choice. She even taught her children that I am not an aunt. As a result of this, I am not close to them like I am my husband's other siblings' children, who are my nieces and nephews, and I am their aunt. I believe I am a fun and generous aunt. I spend time with my nieces and nephews. I've painted stuff in their rooms for them as gifts because I'm artsy. Sometimes I'll take them for fun little trips or buy them stuff. Even as a mom, now I like to do that because I love those kids and I never had a family, so it's nice to have people who want me. I don't do any of this with sister-in-law's kids. I don't even try to speak to them anymore when I am at the same place as them because sister-in-law has made such a big deal out of it. It seemed like I was supposed to ignore them, and as so, I wasn't going to start drama or cause trouble for them by interacting, because I'm almost certain she told them not to talk to me. Now her kids are jealous and hurt that their cousins have cool paintings in the rooms or get to do X, Y, and Z, and they don't. She came to me and bitched about it and told me I was an for making her kids feel that way. I told her that it was her fault, not mine, that she set the tone. She made it so I wasn't related to her kids, and thus her kids' hurt was her fault. I told her she reaped what she sowed, and her poor kids were the biggest victim in it all. Of course she's pissed, and now she's all like, see, she's a bad person, and this is why I didn't want my kids to think of her as their aunt. The rest of the family are just rolling their eyes, but I know this didn't help. I also know it doesn't fix anything with their kids. Who I do feel bad for? Am I the a-hole? So, a couple things. One, I don't think you're the a-hole for having put yourself in a situation of not interacting with her kids. I see nothing wrong with that. She made it very clear that she didn't want that interaction from you. And quite frankly, I think she is probably the kind of person that was going to do this regardless. So you were rocking a hard place, right? Double-edged sword. If you had interacted with her kids, she would have flipped out about it. If you didn't interact with her kids, she would have flipped out about it. I think now that she has made it clear as she can that she wants you, or that, actually, no, back it up. Not that she's made it clear. Now that the kids are clearly old enough to understand the implications of it, I think that if you take the time for them and only them, that's okay. Don't continue to punish them. If there is opportunity for you to give them your time, your love, your energy, I really think that they don't deserve to face that punishment. However, with that being said, I understand your boundaries and setting those limits, because who knows how far sister-in-law is going to take it. But I don't think that this is a fault of your own. I think that you were put in a very difficult situation, and I don't think you would have won either way. So yeah, anyway, that's all for tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm Maria, Unabridged, and I'm here to bridge the gap between imagination and reality. Have a great night, and thanks for watching. Still go.